We miss the obvious. We have a medical model that is purportedly the greatest medical model in the history of mankind, and we're the sickest culture in the history of mankind at the same time. We have compounds that the body needs, that the body must have to function, and we have heart disease and diabetes and cancer and Alzheimer's disease, and we can't figure out that there's a relationship between the nutrients that we're missing and the diseases we have. And we go to the doctors and we get our organs removed, we get cut up, and we get prescription drugs, and we get diagnoses, and we get tests, and we can't figure out that if you don't have the essential nutrients, you can't be healthy. We miss the obvious. One of the neatest things about Dr. Wallach's message, and what attracted me to Doc, was he's just a regular guy. He was raised on a farm. He noticed that they were feeding the animals nutritional supplements. They were giving the animals nutrients, but the people, his family, wasn't getting the nutrients that the animals were getting. Why would it be more important? Why would it be important to feed animals nutritional supplements, to give farm animals nutrients, and not the people who are taking care of the animals? Why would we care more about the animals than we care about the people who are raising the animals? We miss the obvious. The beautiful thing about Dr. Wallach's message, as entertaining as it is, and as informative as it is, and as inspiring as it is that when you hear it, you hit your hand on the side of your head like, oh my God, I could have had a V8, right? Oh my God, it's obvious. And on top of that, once you start to take these ideas incorporate these ideas into your life, once you start to incorporate these ideas into your day-to-day way of being, you start to feel better, you turn it around. Why? Because the body runs on these elements that we call the essential nutrients, like your car runs on gasoline. If you don't have any gasoline in your car and you take it to a mechanic, he could charge you all kinds of money. He could do all kinds of diagnostics. He could give you all kinds of special engine treatments. But if you don't have gasoline in the car, it isn't running. It's obvious. I encourage you all to listen to what Dr. Wallach has to say. You're going to be entertained. He's funny as heck. But more importantly, it's going to be life-transforming, especially if you're sick, especially if you're dealing with some kind of illness, especially if a doctor has told you that you're going to be on this medication for the rest of your life and there's nothing you can do about it. When you hear Dr. Wallach speak, you're going to say, like I said when I first heard him speak, it's obvious. So would you please join me in welcoming a good friend, a colleague, truly an inspiration, my nutritional mentor, and somebody who's just a great honor and a privilege to say that he's my friend, Dr. Joel Wallach. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you, Ben. Thank you so much for the kind introduction, and thank each and every one of you for being here on a Friday evening. You could be out partying. Appreciate you being here. And for those of you who don't know me, just very quickly, the thing that makes my view different, and Ben touched on it, is that I have a degree in agriculture. And in agriculture, we don't have health insurance for animals. And we need to maximize our income from raising animals. And so we had to learn how to maximize their lifespan, maximize their production of meat and milk and eggs from the same amount of feed. We had to have perfect pregnancies, no early births where they needed 3 months in the incubator. We had to have no birth defects, and the animals who were born on the farm had to reach either reproductive age or market weight without need for health care. We did that with vitamins and minerals. Went on to veterinary school, became a veterinarian. Halfway through veterinary school, I graduated ag school, so I was a graduate student, began to take pathology courses, wrote the first paper on a mass die-off in America from pollution. I'm sure it happened many times before, but nobody recognized it. Got it published, and that kind of redirected my whole life. Graduated veterinary school, taught pathology up at Iowa State University for a year, and then got invited by Marlon Perkins from the old Mutual Omaha Wild Kingdom show, and I'd worked for him through high school, to go to Africa and work on the White Rhino Conservation Project and the Elephant Conservation Project. Caught 200 white rhinos, shipped them back to the States, and if you go and you see a white rhino in a wild animal park or a zoo, it's probably one that I caught, or maybe even offsprings of the ones that I caught. After 2 years of working on those projects, Perkins sent me a letter. Said, look, I've got a big grant from the National Institutes of Health. We need to study the causes of death in zoo animals and the people who live in close proximity to the zoo animals because they have the same air, the same water, the same food sources. We want to find out if pollution or nutrition have something to do with their causes of death. Came back, worked on that project for 10 years, and the short version is I did over 20,000 autopsies and 10 million chemistries on 17,000 some change of over 454 species of zoo animals and 3,000 humans. And the bottom line of the study was that every animal, every human being who dies of what we would call natural causes, not trauma, but natural causes, died of a nutritional deficiency disease and not pollution. Now, the book that came out of that, 1,200 pages, in the Smithsonian Institute, is a national treasure, and I'm just a young kid, and I was really very proud of that. And they moved me around from zoo to zoo, university to university, so I could deal with more species of animals and different people eating different things from all over the place. And again, to make a long story short, in 1977, I was working at Emory University in the Yerkes Primate Center in Atlanta, Georgia, and discovered the first documented case of a non-human with cystic fibrosis. I'm sure people had seen it before, but they didn't recognize it. But because of my vast experience when it came to autopsies, I recognized this immediately as cystic fibrosis, got it confirmed by the experts. And then when I told them it wasn't genetically transmitted, that I could create as many baby monkeys as they wanted with cystic fibrosis because it was a deficiency of a single mineral selenium during pregnancy or shortly after pregnancy, and I could produce as many monkeys as they wanted, they fired me. They said, Wallach, you must be sniffing glue. Everybody knows that cystic fibrosis is genetically transmitted, and there's no way it could be something you could prevent and reverse and create. And so, to make a long story short, again, went back to school, became a naturopathic physician, began treating humans in 1978, and been doing it ever since. It's 36 years. I've been treating humans with nutrition and doing the thing with nutrition as we did in animals. So what you're going to get is a view from agriculture, veterinary medicine, as a comparative pathologist, and as a primary care physician. So you're going to get 4 different views of the same subject.